and gentlemen, and today we're going to be reviewing the MSI MPG Coreliquid D360 liquid cooler. This is supported for both AMD and Intel on their latest platforms, their latest CPU platforms. In the last video, I tried to use a cheaper cooler, install a cheaper cooler. And I had a feeling it wasn't going to do too well because it was pretty cheap. It was only $100. This is actually, I forgot how much this was, but it's over $200. So I'm hoping that this would work and actually come with English instructions. The other one didn't come with any instructions, and I'm going to be honest, this is my first time installing a closed liquid loop cooler. So if I'm to be honest, I didn't know where the plugs went, but I'm going to be installing this one and hopefully get this computer running because I've been out of a computer for almost a month now. In the last video, you also seen that I had a pump right here that had a tube go to liquid and stuff like that, but I took it out because EVGA Waterblock, the company that provides this cooling method, the liquid cooling, they're going out of business. Not really. They're still trying to push products, but their financial state is not looking good, and multiple videos on YouTube say that they're not really doing too well and they might actually end up bankrupt in the next few years. So I figured I would replace the cooler entirely with something more simple, something that doesn't require maintenance like this one, and as well as getting my GPU in the right spot. If you've been with the channel, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But enough of that explanation here. This is a better cooling solution in my opinion because you don't need to empty the liquid every year. This is a closed liquid cooling. So we're going to look at the box real quick. This gives you the specifications of what you have. 3 fans, fan bearings, pin sockets, etc. Not important. Countries right here. Labels. Little artwork on the side is a bonus. And then you got your back, which shows you all the features, such as what kind of fans they're using, the pump, the software, which you get independent fan control, which some people do like that. You get to control your system exactly how you want. I'm just going to let it go all 3 fans controlled in succession. And you get a customizable smart display displaying either temperatures or anything else like photos and whatever you really want to, such as weather as well. But you can also put like GIFs, pictures, like say for instance I can put my logo on it if I wanted to. It's just an extra little feature, and all the hardware with it. So it shows you get a monitor, you get your graphics, and then you can get your live weather. But you choose what you want on this fan. Let's take a quick glance at the bottom. That's just the logo or the wording. So without further ado, let's get this thing open. Alright. Let's see how good this presentation is. When you buy things that are over $200, you want a good presentation. And it looks pretty clean. No fancy labels or anything like that. Nothing too over the top, but books as always. This one actually is a little different. The other one came with the radiator and fan assemblies all pre-installed. I guess it looks like we're just gonna have to do a little more as far as assembling it. So, oh, it's actually attached. Okay, I'm gonna get the fans out first. It's a little hard to do with one hand. Oh goodness, I have to do some of this off camera because it's kind of hard to take things out, especially when they're attached like this with one hand. I don't want to ruin anything. So these are your fans. I'm gonna unwrap everything. Most of it's in the case. You get your fans, your radiator, your pump. That's the pump. You get your brackets. That's one for Intel. Ooh, and it also comes with thermal paste. Okay, that's good. That's absolutely good. I'm guessing this is the AM4 bracket right there. And pretty sure the AM5 is also in there somewhere. But last but not least, I guess these are extra wires. Oh, that's the RGB wire. That's the 3-pin RGB or ARGB wire. So this is probably an extra, most likely, in case you need one. Put that to the side. You also get the AM5 bracket. Well, this is AM4 and AM5. I guess there's a little difference in compatibility, but okay, well. Gotta do it all with one hand. This is the radiator. I'm gonna have to screw the fans onto them. This one doesn't seem to come with any instructions, more like a regulatory notice, so it comes in this plastic thing. Huh. Alright, so that's what touches your CPU. Alright. Hello guys, so turns out they didn't give me any instructions to properly know how to do these fans, so I found out later down after I installed the whole thing that the fans were upside down. They're supposed to be blowing towards the radiator. I didn't know this, and you're gonna see that the fans are backwards the entire video. Just figured I would re-edit this to show you guys that the fans are supposed to be the other way and blowing towards the radiator. I was getting spikes in thermals, and here I'm pretty much correcting the issue, so I wanted to add that note in there. But aside from that, this product is really good. And yes, you would think because of the logo being on that side, it would be the right one, but that's the only thing wrong with this product. Push it back and lift off. Wait. Best thing about a magnetic screwdriver is both the washer and the screw will stick to it, so it makes it a little easy for one-handed jobs. Alright, so I got it in. I gotta just kind of line it up. So these standoff screws spacing the cooler from the CPU is a little too short. I decided to go back with the included ones from Cybertron that was longer. They do come with multiple sizes in the bag, but none of them was good enough, so I decided to use the other ones. It's no big deal. Oh, we need to connect the SATA power to this freaking daisy chain. Alright, it's connected. Had to use two hands. I was out here for the longest time. Turns out you can take this off. You can take that off. So, okay. This is a stock one. What we want to do is this one. Alright, here we go again with the MX6 thermal paste. This time it's going to be less. Because last time I got it all over the place. Okay, now we just gotta fit the pump and stuff in here and cap it. This is a magnetic cover, so just put it on and forget. Off. I'm gonna do some cable management and I'll get right back to y'all. Alright, so we're on the second day of this project, and I had a little bit of an issue. Now, I am new on AIO builds, and the way they kind of do it, I think, is a little weird. It turns out I was puzzled by where this goes on the motherboard. But it turns out they go actually into the fans, not the motherboard. And I found this out by looking up an instruction book. They don't come with instructions for this. This doesn't come with instructions, so it was very hard to figure things out. Originally, I thought they go all in this board. These are where the fans are plugged in. This is a CPU link board that's included with the case because, you know, you only have so many motherboard ports for fans. So what they do is they link any fans to a cable that goes into this board and then loops out of the other board to connect the rest of the fans. But anyway, so I figured, well, since this board is connected to the CPU and the motherboard and links all these fans together, I thought maybe that the fans would work with this. Now, I didn't power it on because I haven't completed installing it yet because of the wires. So it turns out that these, again, they plug into this. So I'm going to show you how that goes. See that groove? Yeah, you want to line it up there. And I managed to do some cable management with the included straps, which is nice. So everything's tucked in appropriately. So I'm going to put that there. Alright. And what we're going to do for this, since there's 3 ARGBs, they come with a splitter. And now, yes, I do have 3 ARGBs, but one of them connects by direct contact the LED lights in the back of the faceplate. So instead of sacrificing 2 and only having 2 and then unplugging the case lights, which I don't want to do, I'm gonna just plug one of these into the J RGBs in the motherboard and then plug it like that. They do have a splitter, like I said, right here. That's a ARGB splitter, but one of them is being used, and I don't have enough to plug the case and these things in. So, I mean, I could plug the splitter into there, but I mean, I don't recommend plugging splitter in the splitter. That's just funky, and I don't like it. It's actually right there. See that 3 prongs right there? Second port for an RGB. You gotta be careful with this, because these prongs are sensitive. Okay, we got the splitter on the other side, and all we gotta do is just remove the caps on them. They do that so they protect it. I know I need to clean my system, but I don't get time. I work a lot. So these prongs are in an adapter way longer than what the connection is. I don't know what. That's a design flaw. Usually it's supposed to touch. See how this one is? That's completely flat. That's because the prongs on this is shorter than what they include. I guess they want to make sure it goes in, but it doesn't go flat. So you're gonna have to deal with that if you use this splitter included. It's just how it goes. But I'm gonna do cable management, and then we're gonna plug the USB in. This is very important. Always line it up because there's that space. There. Like that. F1 Alright, so it turns out something changed in the system. I gotta move this monitor, hold up. Well, it is keeping its temperature at 30 Celsius. It's not increasing, so that's good. However, something did, my speed of my RAM changed. Yeah, no, we don't want that. It's 36. Okay, so it detects it. Yep. That this will work. Okay, so we got the pump installed. Now, what you want to do is go to MSI Center, and if you don't have the software, download MSI Center from the web. But as you can see here, we want Coreliquid. This is the liquid cooler management for the pump. Also, you want to download Mystic Light and the Cooling Wizard right down here. When you first install this, none of these are going to be installed. They're going to be at the bottom where it says installable items, but the ones you have installed will be obviously at the top. But the main and important one is the Coreliquid because you can customize the display. And right here, as you can see the display, you have the hardware monitor, which you can display multiple different things like the frequency of the CPU, the temperature, the liquid temperature, even your FPS in games, fan speed of the pump, radiator, fan, and water block of how the water is cycling through, as well as a design background on the right side. You also have videos and images, so if you don't want to display any hardware monitors, you can just have a simple animation. You also have custom banners, which can also be animated as GIF files. They give you a bunch of different ones, as well as you uploading your own. You also get the system clock, which is basically just the time of day, and your live weather, which you do have to give location access. It'll display if it's raining, if it's sunny, what degrees it is, etc. And then in the top right, you have the ability to turn off the LCD completely, turn up the brightness or turn it down, even the direction of where your pump is. Now the direction is really important because depending on how you mount the cooler to the CPU, you can either do it left or right. I don't know about top and bottom. It depends on your CPU and the motherboard, but say for instance, if I had the wires on the left instead of the right, I can choose to change the direction of it because you can mount it either or direction, and that's important because you don't want your display to be upside down. You also get independent fan settings, so you can control exactly how your radiator fan, pump, and water block fans all act depending on different temperatures. You have two ways of doing this: manually at the bottom, where you can adjust the curve individually, and at the top, where you get default settings. You can choose silent, balanced, game mode, or custom. Custom is the same as manual. I like it on game mode because it makes it go to max threshold even at the slightest temperature raise, so you get that max performance no matter what. To control the lighting, you use Mystic Light, which will sync with your motherboard. You even get more cooling options to control the fan. You can either choose to follow the MSI Center mode, which is basically obeying all MSI software settings to control these fans, or you can choose the BIOS mode, which the BIOS has its own settings on how to operate the fans and such. You can also choose to customize it individually, either by smart settings through the motherboard or manual. So instead of adjusting the curve like you did previously in the other settings, you can actually choose the value of your RPMs instead of just the curve at certain scenarios. Like, okay, so the other software basically said if it got to this temperature, it would ramp the fans up. This one is more, this is going to be what my fans are operating at, specifically revolutions per minute. You can also choose to add your own files, such as videos, images, and even GIFs. So I'm actually going to create my own through an Android feature right here. Want to make sure it's just right speed, and this looks good at a normal speed of 1, and there we go. Now just to send it to my computer right here and upload it, and you can see the magic happen. Upload as image, go to the file, here it is. As you can see here, it's showing you a preview of the animation, and in person it looks so much better, it's amazing. And it also gives you the option to put text on it as well. So if you type something in this box, like my motto for instance, it'll show it on the LCD display. You can even pick your color. But the only thing with this is it doesn't like let you put wherever you want. See how it's animating across the entire screen? Me personally, I don't like where text just goes across the entire screen. Like, I would like to put it on the bottom as it's animating, but it is what it is. You can put any text in any color on any kind of background, whether it's the included one or your own background in an image. It also includes full video, so up to maybe like a minute. So if you wanted to put in like an intro or a video of your cat, you could do so. See how awesome that is? I don't know if it's exactly a minute or how long you could put a video in there in that small display, but you can put in videos and it's freaking awesome. And I love that about this. Honestly, it really makes it a unique product, not only to just display important temperatures and stats, but say for instance, if you already had something that was displaying stats, whether it be you have a custom case with a touch panel, which some cases do, or you're just displaying it on a second screen, you don't necessarily have to have a hardware monitor for your pump. You can just have your own signature logo or even something you care about, which makes this product very worth it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is covering the MSI Coreliquid D360, and it is an amazing product and a much worth it upgrade to the already existing liquid cooler I had. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a problem with the other cooler, and I also had an issue with shipping the wrong cooler to me from, Amazon. But aside from that, the wait was worth it, and I really do like this product. I give this a 7 out of 10, only being the fact that they don't have English instructions to it. And you could, if not knowing what you're doing, mount the fans upside down, which will result in thermal throttling, which is not good for your CPU. But aside from that, just make sure to feel inside your case to see if the fan is blowing down or away, because you want the fan to blow towards the radiator. That's how the cooler works. Mine was not, so I had to correct that after recording the video, which I had to edit back in. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think, if you bought it or not, if you want to get it. Leave some feedback and like this video, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.